Everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how you can use Google Translate in Google Sheets. And if you learn how to use this specific function, it's called Google Translate. The function is Google Translate, but it actually gets, I think it uses an API to get data from Google Translate, the service. You can do incredibly powerful things and you can do tons of translations very quickly. So let's jump right in. So the general format of the function is Google Translate, all caps, and then you would have the thing to be translated as the first parameter. The second parameter is the source language. So what language is this in? And then the last one is the target language. And a much more powerful way to do it would be to reference cells, so A2, B2, C2, something like that. And this is one that I almost never use, but I think it can somehow maybe intelligently try to figure out how you want to translate. But in general, I would say you should use it something like this. So if you know exactly what you want to translate and it's short, you can put it in as a parameter as the first one. But generally, I would use this. So let me demonstrate. So for example, let's say you have um, the English word, the English phrase, hello world. Okay, so the source language is English, EN. And okay, and if you don't know what a language code is, you can look up what language codes are. But for example, the language code for English is EN. For Spanish, the language code is ES, and so on. And Mandarin Chinese, okay, there's many different types of Chinese, but to keep it simple, we'll say it's ZH or ZH. Okay, so let's say that you want to translate from English to Spanish. You would put the command. Like I said before, you have these three parameters. The first one is what is to be translated. The second one is the source language or the source language code, which is EN. And then the last one is the target language code, which is, so this one is translating from English to Spanish, and it says Hola Mundo. Okay, hello world, and I believe that's Mandarin Chinese. It's Ni Hao Xijie. Okay, so the first two mean hello, and the last two mean world. And this is translated into German, and it's Hallo Welt. Hallo Welt. Okay, hello world. Okay, now this is like just a very simple example. Of course, you could have just used Google Translate for that, and but the real power, I think, comes in when you're able to use the power of spreadsheets. And for example, let's say you have 100 different translations. I don't know. So I'm going to go and try to go to Naver. Okay, Naver is one of the top sites in Korea. So let's just go to a random news article. Um, we'll go to random news articles. Okay. Um, so for example, let's say that you don't know what that means, that first part, and then we'll take the title of this one. But we know that it's Korean, okay? Just trust me on that. This is Korean. The source language code is Korean, and the language code for Korean is KO. And let's say we want to translate into English, like that. And then we can just copy. Generally, okay, an advanced way you use Google Sheets is to copy it like that, and it intelligently does this. But just to be safe, let's say you didn't already know that. So the cell is A10 is the original text. B10 is the source language, and C10 is the target language. Okay, so it says Yu Sung Min, and okay, so there's some politics going on in South Korea. It's complicated. And now let's translate the next one here. So this does a A11. So this is the source text. This is the source language. This is the target language. Okay, and it's talking about there again. It's The president in South Korea, I don't know if he's been arrested or will be arrested, and it's complicated. Okay, but anyway, so that's just Korean. Now let's go to a Spanish news article. Okay, so I'm going to look up just some random news, two random news articles in Spanish. Okay. Um, so it's talking about the Prime Minister of Canada, and so the source language is Spanish. We want to translate it into English. And let's see here. I'm just going to translate the title. Okay. Okay, so it talks about Justin Trudeau presents his resignation. Okay. And then this one here, it's talking about some news in Spain about the king and some military stuff. Okay, and then let's do one final thing. Let's go to Baidu. Okay, so I'm gonna go to pick two random articles. I haven't read these news. Okay, so this is two random articles. I'm just gonna translate the titles. I have the titles translated. Okay, for some reason this is going really slowly. But this news article is based in mainland China. Okay, this is something about foreign affairs. Okay, so the source language is Chinese, specifically Mandarin Chinese, so that's a ZH. And then let's translate it into English. And then we can do that basically. If you're doing roughly the same command, Google Translate will be smart enough to know that you're probably talking about this row. Okay, so it says French expert, positive progress in, okay. And this is the new spokesperson of the China's Foreign Ministry, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Okay, and the guy's name, by the way, is, where is it? Yeah. Okay, so that's his name, Guo Jiakun. Anyway, so the reason I think that this is so incredibly useful is that you can do so much, and you could potentially do hundreds or even thousands of translations very quickly. And if you're able to get text efficiently, you can actually learn a language this way, or at least maybe not become fluent, but at least you can use this as a tool for language learning. So just to recap, the general command would be Google Translate, one word, all caps, and then you're going to put the text to be translated, the source language, so that's the language that the text is in, and then what you want to translate it to. So that's the language code of the original, and then the language code of the target. And then, okay, so that's the simple way. If you want a more elegant way, basically you can just reference cells. So here you're referencing this cell, this is A7, this is B7, this is C7, and I think that's super, super cool. So this translates from English to Spanish, English to Mandarin Chinese, English to German. This is Korean to English, Korean to English, Spanish to English, Spanish to English, Chinese to English, Chinese to English, and so on. And one of the coolest things about this is that it's completely free. I think there's ways to access the Google Translate API that potentially cost money, but this is completely free. And all you need to do is be able to use this command, Google Translate, inside Google Sheets, and you're able to translate things really amazingly and super quickly. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.